Halloween! It's my favorite time of year.
Wednesday?
No, 8 p.m. Thanks for decorating with me. You never hear of a therapist that's willing to help their patient.
As long as we're still on the clock, I don't mind.
Well, hey, since you're already here, guess who is your secret Santa?
Oh, I hate riddles.
Please guess I put money on your answer.
Well, if I guess right, it wouldn't be a secret.
Please, it was me.
Well, I don't know any me's. I know a you.
Well, he was your secret Santa. Good, I don't need my toes anyway.
Oh, how did my secret Santa know?
Well, when you asked for water when you came in, I knew it would be perfect.
I love it.
Don't patent that reaction of yours because I'm gonna create a sequel tonight. I've been trying to figure out who got me for Secret Santa for 9 years, which says a lot about my dedication considering invitations went out a week ago. See, when we were passing the hat around drawing everybody's names for Secret Santa, I recorded everybody's facial expressions. Jeb's eye twitched, and his eye only twitches when he sees the letter B, which eliminates me and everybody else.
Why do you want to know so badly? I already got my present, and I don't even know who got me.
Well, I'm planning this to be the best Christmas ever.
We'll make a new Jesus.
A better Jesus.
A Jesus for the common man.
That, and I want everybody to get exactly what they wanted for Christmas, which includes me.
Again with this me guy. You know he was my secret Santa?
I just want a good quality present, something that tells me everybody around me truly cares.
But you got an intervention last year.
Yeah, but I've been thinking through a lot lately. Like, just yesterday, I was reminiscing about the lamest possible presents.
Fertility?
Hey y'all, Scott here. You know, I've been on a pretty good streak this year of not having any major injuries. But I still have a balance up to my hospital gift card, so it's just a little shovel to the head.
Nothing beats learning your relatives don't know a single thing about you by getting a gift card.
Oh, I got you a gas card because I happen to notice that you seem to love to drive to work every day.
We all enter that phase when we become hard to shop for, which in reality means nobody loves you enough to think critically for a second. I've been told I'm hard to shop for. How? My hobby couldn't be more blatant. I just don't know what to get him! Jeans. As a 24-year-old guy, being told I'm hard to shop for just means I know you don't like sports, so I bought you Axe body spray. Like, come on, you can't play this on a ColecoVision. See, but I did this to myself. After years of actual presence as a child, I entered my apathetic phase because I thought I was really fucking cool. I mustn't dare tell my family I like video games. I don't want them to look at me like some kind of nerd. So I generally kept to myself about my sheer interest in video games. I was watching gameplay of New Super Mario Bros. Wii online, and when my dad came in, I immediately hid the window and looked up porn. But what do you get the teenager who refuses to tell you about their actual interests? Gift cards! Buy your own present, you fucking creep. Oh, these are the thing to get if you're terrified of telling people what you really want for Christmas. Very interesting phenomenon. The gift card is seemingly a psychological trick, one where the gift giver feels like they actually bought the gift givee a gift, when in reality, you severely limited their options. Just give them cash. Instead, you're telling them, I don't want you to pay your bills, I want you to go to Fazoli's. Hey, I'm guilty of it too, both wanting gift cards and giving them. Just regular cash is more useful, but a gift card gets your mind going as to what you could buy with it. Being more limited forces you to think outside the box, to treat yourself with the money rather than just pocket the cash and use it on a toll booth or something. Which, as a teenage boy, a popular gift card to get me was of the gaming variety. Gift cards and gaming are all over the place, and most notably when it comes to digital storefronts. A Wii Points card, your ticket to cruising through the Wii Shop channel to buy some old school classics or get ripped off for some WiiWare game. But did you ever realize just how wasteful the packaging for this was originally? Like, it's a card. Why do you not only need it in a paper sleeve, but surrounded by bulletproof plastic? When the rhinos go extinct, we know who to blame. I will never get over the trend of fake currency during this era. Wii Points, I will always understand. Just remove the decimal from the dollar amount, you got yourself a Wii Points to USD conversion tool. Microsoft Points freak me out. How does this work? These old digital store card designs have so much more charm than they do now. Which is the opposite of what went on with Nintendo. Look at the Xbox 360 points card you could buy. Like, if you were a kid, there's always something new to look at and read on the car ride home. I was like, this upcoming generation is f***ed. Oh, they didn't get shapes on their Xbox card. But Nintendo, the inverse happened. The old school Wii Shop Channel cards were unbelievably bland. Watch out behind you, there's a happy couple playing Wario's Woods. Later, they released Nintendo DSi Shop Channel cards before combining them to be Nintendo Points cards, then Nintendo eShop cards for the 3DS, Wii U, and now we get cards with characters' faces on them, which this is far more appealing. I mean, it's a little messed up how Nintendo is ranking their characters' worth. Donkey Kong is $99. Is that his fixed rate? They have a gift card for every amount over at Nintendo. How many of you bought the $5 one? I really had an itch for Bouncy Bob and bouncy Bob 4 more times. But you know what was the coolest thing about gift cards for a while? What GameStop did with them. They sold exclusive gift card holding tins based on game consoles, which I always found adorable. Apparently nobody else did. These were pennied out. This Wii tin? I mean, if it didn't actually sell for a penny, that's a problem with society, not the tin. This is really cool. It makes it so you have something to actually open, like a present! Then you have a cool little collectible to put on your shelf afterwards. The gift card is nestled in here. Okay, that just looks kind of gross. I think the Nintendo DS Lite tin steals the show, though. You open it up and it shows screenshots from Phantom Hourglass and fake little buttons. This is really in depth for such a superfluous item. Not all of them can be winners, though. The Wii U Gamepad gift card tin, I might as well just give your son this. It's just a regular tin with a Wii U Gamepad design printed onto it. Not nearly as cool as the others here, but it's at least a neat enough design. The other tins do take some liberties with some dimensions, while the Gamepad is fairly true to form. Like, look at those areolas! And God bless Nintendo for having system designs that work as gift card tins. Because without them, we're f***ed. The Xbox One X gift card tin. Now, you may be saying, well, Scott, this is supposed to be a miniature version of the console's box, because everybody remembers the Xbox One X box. Iconic moments in gaming! Outside of the tins, there are a few other cool things done with gift cards. One I remember was the Photos with Mario collection of Nintendo eShop cards for the 3DS. These would double as not only eShop cards, but AR cards you could use with a free downloadable 3DS application. You could pose and play around with some Mario models. It was a really cool inclusion that Nintendo never needed to do. Like, think about it. This was one of the lower points in the company's history, with the Wii U's failure and right after having to cut the 3DS's price point. So, what does Nintendo do? The exact opposite of making money. These cost the exact same as any other eShop card. So you'd be a fool not to get the Photos with Mario edition. You idiot! So it's like Nintendo put that much more effort into selling eShop cards and made no extra money off of it, but hey, I'm sure they sold a few more eShop cards this way. I can't imagine a ton, but it was a cool little thing to collect. Though AR cards on the 3DS aren't anything special. They're printed on regular paper, so you can just bring up the image on your phone and it has the same effect in the 3DS app. They did versions of this for Animal Crossing and Pikmin as well, though those didn't release in North America. I guess they know we're just more into not deals over here. Well, these days, gift cards aren't as fun. Look at the ones on display right now. We have the in-game currency gift cards. If you know all your son wants his Madden points, you could ask for anything this Christmas. So you did. Oh man, a Fortnite gift card? That's a weird way to spell Roblox. And that's a weird way to spell Roblox. The game-specific ones, cards that give you the codes to specific games, which often aren't on the cards themselves. They get printed on your receipt upon purchase, which, what's the point of the card when you have to include the receipt? Just buy $60 worth of store credit. You ever wonder how they choose which games to offer as digital copy cards? Like, think about it. They f***ed up a tree for this. Then, of course, we have the normal everyday store cards, which make the most sense to me. I don't have much of a reason at all to buy gift cards for myself anymore, as when you get to a certain age, you just use your credit card on these services, unless you're really paranoid. But man, these were so much more fun. Now it's like, oh great, ActRaiser Renaissance came out. Let me waste my money on it. With only a $20 gift card, you had to really think it through. It made every purchase on the Wii Shop channel or Xbox Live Arcade that much more exciting. This was your choice. Many times I go for as many games as possible. I could get 4 NES games for 2,000 Wii points, or 2 Nintendo 64 games, or a few WiiWare titles. And being limited made each purchase that much more special. It was so much fun to pick these up at the store and excitingly rush to the console to input the code and browse for hours figuring out what to buy. Of course now, I can buy whatever I want, damn it. Watch this. You think somebody happy could do that? But sometimes, less is more. It really makes you appreciate the little things as a kid. While there were limitations, it made you appreciate the smallest things. Gaming gift cards were a joy to get back then. Now it's like, come on, you didn't just know I wanted Sackboy? But even though they're not as exciting or useful to me now, I will always treasure the thought of getting a Microsoft Points card. And the dread that came with converting it.
I think I finally figured out the formula. So 1,600 Microsoft points equals solve for V-Bucks. What the f*** is that?
That'll help me with your sessions moving forward. Thanks for recounting your trauma with me.
I was talking about gaming gift cards.
Yeah.
They have feet, right?
Oh, lots.
Then that must be them. Listen, help me figure out who my Secret Santa is. I can't wait.
If you really couldn't wait, your hands would be far bloodier.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Here's your work cited.
Damn, he's right.
I can't believe I was finally able to buy a white guy with dark hair a Secret Santa present.
Write that down.
You guys,
Something crazy happened on the way here.
I walked over water.
You mean the frozen pond?
I'm not saying I'm Jesus. I'm saying I'm Jesus Christ.
Anybody giving off major they got Scott a gift vibes?
That depends. Are those vibes stinky?
Sure.
Stink much?
You get work off for the holidays?
Nope.
Uh-oh. Don't worry. I forgive you.
So you really think you're the reincarnation of Christ, huh?
Yes.
Oh man, I hear words. What are they?
Let's just say if your name's Satan. You don't want to know.
Wow. What do you call those things?
Gifts.
Who are they for?
Mine's for somebody. Frankly, a person whose name stands out of a crowd. Some of the best vowel and consonant uses I've ever seen.
Well, that narrows it down.
Nope, not stinky enough. You don't have the vibes.
Yeah, I've been taking some supplements.
So you didn't get Scott.
No, I got Target employee, but whoever wrote his name misspelled it with a B.
Of course. Nobody has time to use G's anymore.
So what, you're trying to figure out who got Scott for Secret Santa?
Is it really that obvious?
Well, maybe we can think of all the types of things Scott might have got, shake all the presents, and figure out which one sounds like it's the most for him.
No. What if somebody skipped us a rat?
Oh, I won't be caught dead shaking a rat.
So we agree this is a stupid idea, which leaves us with plan B.
Well, seriously though, what kind of stuff would Scott want? Maybe we can ask the guys and see what they've been buying recently.
You know, he has a whole tape about this stuff.
Hey y'all, Scott here. What do I want for Christmas? For some tree to get absolutely f***ed up. That works.
What the fuck do I do? That's where the holiday gift guides come in. These giant fat books. Like oink oink, Mr. Cow. Ever have a really hard time figuring out what to get somebody you should know inside and out by now? Like how do you not know your dad's shoe size? Well, these books are here to help. Bingo. As a kid, your natural instinct was to thumb through these catalogs with an ass red pen and make sure mom knows damn well your priorities. It's so much easier this way because how often do you know off the top of your head everything you need?
A septic tank.
Having nearly everything sellable right in front of your face definitely helps, but that's considering what these guides were like back when they were new. Now, they're straight up time capsules. This is the oldest one I own from the holiday season of 1983, the Video Game Christmas Guide. Let's see, they suggest the Magnavox Odyssey 2, okay, the Odyssey 2, the Odyssey 2, and the Odyssey 2. I think this fits the term propaganda well. Who do you think you are calling a Magnavox Odyssey 2 at a video game gift guide? None of those words apply. This released just a year before the Odyssey 2 was discontinued, so I'm sure they cheaped out on staples by going with this folder-esque design, but in all honesty, this is pretty cool. It gives you the opportunity to turn any of these pages into posters. Pop this on your wall, blast some metal, and tell mom to off. The next oldest one I own is actually from Japan. This one is a part of the long-running Japanese magazine Weekly Famitsu, released in November of 1991 and covers Famicom, Super Famicom, and Game Boy releases. Yeah, English may be my first language, but Japanese is tied for second along with all the other languages I don't know. Of course, taking into consideration the fact I can't read any of this, at the very least, thumbing through and seeing all the pictures is somewhat appealing. I mean, it's kinda cool to think there was a time when Hatris was just coming out. Seeing screenshots of Famicom and Game Boy games that are so obviously just taken with a camera off screen is really charming. When I was a kid, that's how I would have put together a video game magazine in Microsoft Office or something, so it's really cool to see actual professionals use more amateurish techniques, even if it's only because that's all they could really do at the time. Now, I will reiterate. What? I can't read any of this, so let's dumb it down a notch. This right here is probably what many will think of when hearing Holiday Gift Guide, the Sears catalog, this one being from 1992. What's Sears, you may ask? I'll answer that by asking, what's Kmart? Sears was a department store, the most popular for a while. They sold pretty much everything, but I don't know. Something about the logo made me think all they sold was car parts. But no, if this wish book is anything to go by, they did it all. They're still around now with a softer logo that makes it feel more like a Macy's. That's gotta be plagiarism. But their prominence is greatly reduced compared to their peak years. Not nearly as many stores, barely anybody talks about them, and it's pissing me off.
I'm going to Sears!
These wish books covered everything. As in, here's the cover showcasing children telling Santa what they want. Lingerie. Collegeopoly. What kind of jerks can't get the Monopoly license? For style points, they include NES games and accessories in with this listing for crew necks and cargoes, because I'd like to see you play Metroid in anything but. See, I like this because it shows how everything was back in 1992, not just video games. Pants were different back then. Or how novelty fish merch was just getting started. A personal tanning bed for $2,500? I already own a flashlight.
This counts.
Ha! Grooming kits for kids.
It's not what you think!
Yeah, they were doing play shaving kits with Batman and Ninja Turtles licensing, which makes things better.
This came from Batman.
Oh, a Barbie party bake oven. That's just an easy bake oven, you coward. You know, I always wanted an easy bake oven as a kid. I mean, why wouldn't I? I could make cake whenever I wanted. But of course, the boy version was called the Queasy Bake Oven and only had gross sounding recipes, because obviously no boy would ever want to make brownies. Oh, hell yeah, the little computers for kids. This one looks pretty high tech, all things considered. We spent $50 on this thing and all he's typing is horse. The hell, they had gamer chairs all the way back then? I thought those were invented in the mid 2000s to keep the Xbox fans down.
I have back problems and play Halo.
That's just too much. Character sleeping bags. Out of all these, why would you pick the car that's half shown or the rollerbladers? I want to be inside that. The photos here are quite impressive considering that pretty much every product has kind of an elaborate photo shoot set up. Like, look at these toys, all having thematically appropriate backgrounds and terrain. For an era without Photoshop, this is really cool. A rector.
Yep.
He agrees. We even have collectibles, autographs, sports, and pop culture memorabilia. I just flat out wouldn't expect that from a department store. Oh my god, a gumball machine for only 20 bucks? I would have lost my fucking mind at that as a kid. I love this kind of garbage. Like, it would make my bedroom feel like a Fazoli's. Entire box sets of comic books, pool, air hockey, and foosball tables, board games, miniature at-home plastic pinball games, which I owned this Mario 64 one as a kid. Speaking of which, we're finally at the video game portion of the wish book. You know, this thing goes all over the place. I'm not sure how they're organizing it. It's like, here's a section for kids, then here's underwear, mom. Well, firstly, we got the Game Boy front and center here alongside LCD games by Konami. Only 20 bucks a pop, but the actual Game Boy games themselves, not bad, only around 30. I always loved this Game Boy carrying case. That looks just like a Game Boy. Weirdly enough, no screenshots of games for the handheld, while on the next page for the Atari Lynx and Sega Game Gear, we get nothing but Bill and Ted, time-traveling righteous dudes on a wacky adverb. The Turbo Duo was $300. Moving on. Right in the middle of the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo rivalry, with images of Sonic and Mario front and center. The Mario artwork looks ripped from the Japanese manga series. Sonic, well, they used the Japanese design compared to the North American one. This book is just flat out fun to look through. I mean, I think everybody gets a kick out of just looking at toys. Look, you can be Nickelodeon. But there's so much here that I feel like vintage Sears wish books should be held to a higher standard these days. Historians should scoop these up and treasure them, as nothing else will give you a better indication of what was going on this year than this. But the wish book covers everything. What about something a bit more fine-tuned? This right here is an electronics boutique catalog from holiday 1994. Yikes, 96 pages? You're weak. Literally half of this entire catalog is PC software, which, hey, at least old school PC games had some of the coolest boxes. Since they weren't restricted to a standardized format, they could do trapezoids, tombstones, or just out there graphic designs like Front Page Sports or the Bicycle pack of playing cards for this collection of PC card games. The Street Fighter series includes Street Fighter 1 and 2 plus bonus Mega Man 1 and 3. Well, then this package is just as much Mega Man as it is Street Fighter. What the hell? Jesus, $30 for screensavers? Like, how is this the same price as Dr. Ruth's Encyclopedia of Sex? And why is Seinfeld more expensive than both? Contains all the information you and your family need to be sexually literate in the 90s.
Any other decade, you're f***ed.
Or you're not getting f***ed, I guess, so make your way to American Dream Calendar Girl screensaver. This is a tough decision. Bro, Metal and Lace contains violence and sexy graphics? Is that a warning or a selling point? Looking for something fun and exciting yet sexier than munching dots or pudgy painters? Oh, go f*** yourself. You losers playing Pac-Man when you should be horny. Limber up those fingers. Comes packed with speed and action to challenge the player in you, and includes the first ever action game plot to entertain you. You really think this would turn me on? You think Pac-Man doesn't, cause joke's on you, it does! Finally, we're out of the PC section, and things start off with the Tiger Electronic LCD games. Jesus Christ. All roughly 20 bucks, except for this Dear Diary one. Obviously, it's a bit more complex, almost like a miniature electronic planner. Speaking of which, did you know Sega made something like that? A Sega Electronic Communicator and Organizer. This entire page is dedicated to everything Sega that barely counts as Sega. The Pocket Arcade, the Pico, Pods. Who the hell are you? Then there's the 4 pages for the Panasonic 3DO. You can trademark the word real. Roughly $70 per 32X game. That's f***ed up. 36 great holes. Who ranked them? Rayman got this bizarre temporary box art and was referred to as the Rayman. Pages dedicated to different publishers. Oh my god, like you'd think these pages are being utilized enough. Mickey. It's so cool to see temporary box art like this for games so old. To see that they didn't have Super Punch-Out or Uniraces or Tin Star art, so they had to make their own. It's really something else. But my god, video game prices were ridiculous back then. The fact that Tetris 2 is only $10 less than Super Metroid is a crime. Or the fact that X-Men and the Great Circus Mystery are both $70? But at least there's a pre-order bonus for Wario's Woods for the player that just couldn't wait. But then Final Fantasy 3 was 80 bucks, which makes sense. If you're getting money out of any game, it's probably this one. Though they messed up the name and the descriptions here. Brutal Paws of Fury is more expensive than Super Metroid, Mario Paint, and Donkey Kong Country. That's confidence. This guide is nothing but pure joy to skim through. Even though half of it is taken up by old PC software, it's kind of refreshing. You don't see that stuff covered nearly as much as old school console games, so it's neat to see everything this guide covers, plus how much it all cost at the time. Each of the big video game companies generally put out their own little brochure, like this PlayStation one from 2002. Live in your world, play in ours. Stuart Little 2. Guides like this mainly just focus on the holiday lineup for said system, rather than what's the thing to buy. Though specific games like Sly Cooper and SOCOM get much more space than others, it's obvious Sony's really trying to push stuff like Primal. I really like catalogs like this because they help put you in the shoes of a gamer back then. I only really started to consume gaming news around 2008 or so. To be able to look at 2002 from the eyes of a PlayStation 2 owner, I think it's important. Which doing so would piss off gamers from 2002 because I'm acting like I really know what it was like to be gaming in 2002, but it would piss them off otherwise if I was only talking about how Wii music was my childhood. But hey, 2003 was my childhood, so I think a Sears catalog from this time will do wonders for me. I can immediately see a huge difference in quality here. This feels much more modern already. A $10 512 games in one LCD game. Arcade style display?
What the hell are you talking about? That has more in common with a calculator than an arcade machine. It's like, oh, this is just like an arcade machine. It exists.
Personalized cotton towel, as in they used a label maker? Oh my god, I always wanted one of these portable TVs. That would have been amazing to use that wherever I please, especially if you combine it with the Video Center TV stand. Bring that on a trip, would ya? That looks like some things never change. For all the kids who browse the wish book to circle what they want for Christmas.
That's a crotch.
Yes, this is a very 2003. Extreme sweatshirts next to Levi's with Levi's in bold red on the jeans.
Yeah, the only reason I wear pants is because people know they're Levi's.
Yes, the state-of-the-art TV for the time was this behemoth. Honestly, if you're one of those old farts that say things are too complicated now, have fun moving this. What the hell? Okay, so Palm handhelds seem to be precursors to the Palm cell phones, but these are more so digital planners. But here are Palm Pack games sold separately, including Rayman and a Sega Classics compilation. I have never heard of this. It turns out the Sega one is a bunch of Game Gear games. I assumed this was gonna be Genesis games, but no, it's Game Gear. A microwave with a toaster built in. Who the hell wants a toaster on its side like that? You're gonna get crumbs everywhere. Gotta be honest, these pictures of toys aren't nearly as impressive as the books from the 90s. I mean, those compositions were intense. Here, they're pretty much just putting them on solid color backdrops. It's a huge downgrade in my opinion. But 2003, the mini LCD games have pretty much been relegated to board and card games. I had the Yahtzee one as a kid, and okay, well, I guess by 2003, Sears gave up on video games. Weird considering they still did the Palm stuff. They were selling DVD and CD players and lingerie, but no movies, music, or video games. For that, I suppose we have to look at the GameStop 2003 holiday catalog. This one is far more kind of fucking boring. It's still cool, but every page feels the exact same. And I don't understand why most games and products have prices, but then others just have great gift or yes. Like, give me answers. Much like previous years, I really find it compelling to see temporary box art. I mean, this Wario World one, I wish it wasn't temporary. I can go through these kind of things all day, and I'd love to do more in the future. But for the time being, I think this was a lovely trip down holiday memory lane.
Because who doesn't look at a $2,500 tanning bed and go, nostalgia? The holidays are a stressful time, but it's important to cherish those smaller, simpler moments because in reality, those are the moments you will remember for years to come. Sometimes I remember these books more than the actual Christmases these books were for. And even then, I don't even remember a lot of the products in these books. More so, I remember spending time with my grandma circling products. I mean, those are superfluous memories, but special ones. So, thank you, Sears.
Is this what his therapy sessions are like?
Yeah, with less crying.
Okay, well, I think we should head back to the party.
But we don't want anybody to know what we're doing back here. We gotta come up with a good excuse.
Well, what happened to you? Oh, he beat the shit out of me.
I second that.
Oh, I could use something to drink. Hey, Rex, can you give me a water?
Oh, sure thing. Oh. All I have is wine.
You didn't turn water into wine.
So, use those fingers for anything?
To count how many jobs I lost today.
No. Like, have they bought any gifts lately?
I buy gifts with my heart, not my fingers.
You can't tell me those hands were buying gifts earlier. I mean, look at them.
I've been unemployed all day. Cut me some slack.
So, you're Jesus Christ.
Would Jesus lie to you?
Oh my God.
Hey, I got a robe in my car.
The plot thickens.
So you walked on ice, you chose to pick up wine, and anybody can have a robe in their car.
Not if they don't have one.
Yeah, good point. I'll put in a good word for you with Dad.
Actually, can you do me a different kind of favor?
Jerry, I'm Jesus Christ, not a charity.
Come on, just tell me who you got for Secret Santa.
Ooh, I would, but the 11th commandment just went into effect.
Okay, let's do presents. Well, I got a certain Target employee for Secret Santa. I got an unemployee for Secret Santa.
Oh, that's me.
I got you something at Target for Christmas.
Oh boy, what?
Something from Target. I thought you could use the support.
Oh, and I got our Lord and Savior, Rex Mohs.
Viagra?
All of it. The entire county's wiped out. The supply chain's botched for the next quarter.
You stopped sex for me?
As long as I can get an autograph.
And Terry, I got you. Which reiterates the question, why can't we just get along?
There's nothing in here.
What could be more vegan than nothing?
I got you, Jeb. Embrace the geometry.
Garbage?
Fresh garbage from the dump you just opened up.
This will look sick as pollution.
Well, you haven't given out your present yet.
Well, that's because my Secret Santa isn't here yet.
What?
Yeah, well, he should be here right now.
That's Officer Steel Wool. He murdered nearly everybody here. He fought us in court. He survived a death sentence. Why is he here?
I didn't know who he was. I thought he was an abrasive sponge.
Why would you add somebody to our Secret Santa?
I thought we needed one more to even it out.
No!
Oh, come on. He deserves to be here. Who's lonelier on Christmas than a dead serial killer?
I forgive you.
What's his deal?
Oh, he thinks he's Jesus Christ.
'Tis the season.
But now I get nothing. This wasn't what I signed up for.
Yeah, it was. You signed up for therapy.
Well, maybe I should talk to him. We're both in horrible moods right now.
Well, in the meantime, I gotta set the record straight. Steel Wool, are you a man of God?
As much as I'm a convicted serial killer.
Good, because that means you're a man of me now.
Are we finally getting the inside scoop?
It's the only way to convert the non-believers. I present to you the Rex Mohs Cruci-fiction Special! Our story starts, well, my story starts, in the tallest tower of Jerusalem. I was locked up for losing a race to a tortoise, but that's irrelevant. Some called me a liar. I called myself Jesus Christ. But you can call me Rex. It's short for Rex Mohs. My mother, bless her heart, was a virgin. And a bear. That's right, a virgin bear. The first of its kind. Bet you've never seen one of those before, huh? Might be asking how a virgin bear gave birth to me. I wonder that too. A camel was there. 3 little pigs came forth bearing 3 separate gifts. Magic beans, and magic beans. I was overjoyed. I planted them almost immediately, and a giant beanstalk shot up. I was overjoyed. I knew then and there, I was the son of Christ. Him? Said the local schoolyard bully. This motherfucker couldn't be born in a manger even if he tried. But I shouldn't say that, because my mother was never f***ed. Me and this bully never got along, but I sure tried. I told him I was Jesus. Me and my 7 best friends were so close, even if we couldn't see eye to eye most of the time. The schoolyard bully had a friend group named the Disciples, so I named mine the Disciples. I was fairly popular in high school. Everybody wanted a piece of Jesus. I couldn't blame them. I did the sick trick where I walked over water because somebody dared me to, and then afterwards I kissed a frog. That frog turned into our beloved mascot, a wolf. A wolf in my grandmother's clothing. I couldn't stop crying about it. Nobody heard me, so I cut down the stupid fucking tree. I later had to get wooden teeth. Karma's a bitch. I was overjoyed. Any of you go through puberty as Jesus Christ? It fucking stunk. Try telling somebody you're the son of God while you're horny. It just doesn't work. So I ventured into this garden. Red ass apples, red as ass, everywhere. I was really hungry from going through Jesus puberty, but get this, the snake told me you can't have any. And I went, well, why not? And before he had a chance to respond, I took a bite. Bad move. The apple was way too hot. The snake said they were too cold. Then this chuckle Adam and Eve, one person, came out, unmasked themselves, and turned out they were a frog. A frog who I promptly kissed, as I thought the dare was still active. The frog went ribbit and then flew away. From that point forward, I disavowed sex. I had too many Jesus to do. Me and my 7 disciples were walking to school. That was so us. My buddy Judas, who I nicknamed Bluffy, decided to betray me as a joke. I thought it was really funny after I parted Lake Erie. I knew myself I had to be stopped. It was only a matter of time until Lake Michigan wanted a piece of this. That schoolyard bully got the skinny from Judas that his name was Ponce de Leon. He said, you know what? I'm gonna nail your hands to planks of wood and watch you die. I said, can I have supper first? So, little inside fact about me. I love supper. I counted all of the suppers I've had. After adding them all up, turns out this was the last. I found this pea under my bed. We had that to eat. Grumpy didn't want any of his. Stinky was full. Smelly was sniffing Stinky's neck. It was a goddamn mess. And Judas, I was like, for what he did to me, I made him drink my blood. He said it was pretty good, like booze. We started hepatitis. I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's bring it on. Then these people started beating the shit out of me, all right? They're kicking my ass. They even stole my shoe. Then they said, walk up this mountain with the cross. And I went, no, I'm not doing that shit. That's fucking weird. They stapled my fucking hands to the thing and I was just hanging there. By the 4th hour, I was starting to get a little pissed. Some guy came up to me and thanked me for dying for his sins. And I had no fucking clue what he was talking about. I was just like, who said I was dying? I didn't sign up for this. Thought I was just getting hazed. So, guess what? I died. Not my finest moment. Moral of the story, don't get crucified. It stings.
That really all happened?
Well, I took some liberties to keep the story flowing. There were actually 4 bears.
Wow, nice. Can you teach me how to cry like that?
It's not fair. I just wanted this to be the best Christmas ever. Now, I don't even get a gift. A serial killer shows up to my party. I just want to feel like people want to be here because they actually want to be around me, not just because of the promise of gifts or something. I always feel like I'm an annoyance to you guys. Like, the only reason why you show up is just because you get looped into my garbage, not because you actually want to be around me. I mean, why else do I only see you guys like 5 times a year? I feel like I'm a complete annoyance to the people I consider my friends. Like, I to pay my therapist to show up, for God's sake.
You didn't. I've actually been off the clock all day.
What?
I care about spending the holidays with everybody here, including you.
Scott, if everybody here was only showing up for gifts, they wouldn't have come. We're all adults here. If we didn't want to come, we wouldn't come. We can go off and do all kinds of things around, like lose our jobs.
Really?
The holidays are about being around people you care about. You don't do it for something in return. I may have lost my job today, but if that's because they were wanting me to work today, no, I met Jesus Christ.
It looks like we did make a new Jesus.
Wow. Everybody does care. They do want to spend time with me. They do want to be here. And we did make this an amazing Christmas. Who even cares if I didn't get a gift? Tough shit, Scott. And either way, I can always just look back at all the gifts I've gotten throughout the years, which I've already done recently.
Hey y'all, Scott here. I have an exciting announcement to make. I am officially old enough to not be happy. let's talk about nostalgia!
I own hundreds of games at this point. It's a bit of a quirk. I mean, I didn't just slip in, oops, look what happened. No, I chose this lifestyle, much like how I chose to not shower this week. And once you own this many games, your personal connection towards them starts to wane. Back when I had like 10 games, I had something unique to say about each and every one. Now, I mean, I can try. I'll pull a random game off the shelf.
It starts with an X.
That's when you have to dig deep for nostalgia. Think about your childhood games, and what games do you remember more than the ones you unwrapped on Christmas morning? This right here, this was all I wanted Christmas of 2008. Sonic Unleashed. I saw one trailer online and my jaw dropped. It looked incredible. The beautiful graphics, sense of speed. It's almost as if the game was good. Well, the trailer I watched was for the Xbox 360 version. Thankfully, a Wii release happened, as that was my only current console at the time. Once I opened it that Christmas, I immediately popped it into play. And you know what? To an 11-year-old, this looked close enough to the trailers that I wasn't too disappointed. But then the gimmick of this game showed its ugly face, the werehog sections. You know, these aren't bad. It's not like the game is horrible. Sonic Unleashed suffers from the good stages being so good and the werehog stages being so werehog. Sega shoehorned this concept of Sonic turning into a bad bitch at night to appeal to more people, but like, this was never what got me interested in the game. How can you have half the game look like this and think that's not good enough? It's all because they couldn't make an entire game's worth of HD beautiful stages that you just zoom right through. It would be too expensive. So have beat 'em up sections where you have a snaggletooth. The first few stages of Sonic Unleashed I adored, but yeah, after a few of the werehog nighttime ones, I lost interest in the game. It's a shame because this was my most hyped game ever. I was so damn excited to play this on Christmas morning. And while I liked it, I do vividly remember a werehog stage being the last one I played before shelving it. But you know what I got right alongside Sonic Unleashed? Lego Batman the video game, also for Wii. Everybody has a Lego Batman story, mine just so happens to be adultery. Sonic Unleashed, we were just on a break! 2 Wii games for Christmas ain't a bad deal, but the very next year in 2009, I had one of my most memorable presents ever. See, there's generally the stigma that you get your big boy presents when unwrapping them from your parents. When you go to see your extended family, that's when you have to go in with expectations that the gifts aren't gonna be anything that expensive or massive. You know, a full-fledged Wii game, $50, that's a lot to expect from your uncle. So I just straight up didn't ask for anything like that, but lo and behold, my cousin's boyfriend bought me new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Holy shit. That was the video game for that holiday season. A full-priced one at that, and I got it for Christmas, not even from a blood relative. I must have been some 12-year-old. And with my fake ID, I still am. Sadly, being an only child made the main gimmick of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that being multiplayer, a little inaccessible for me. But playing it as a typical Mario game, I still had a good time with it, no doubt about that. But I think the rush of getting it as an extended family Christmas gift still resides inside me. Looking back at old family photos, enhance! That's fucking Simpsons Road Rage. 2005, this was one of my gifts, a Game Boy Advance copy of Road Rage. This is literally a Crazy Taxi clone, but it's quality, especially for a GBA game. I found it so incredibly impressive, just driving around in a 3D space on a Game Boy Advance. It was so cool. I never really even played the taxi missions. I just kept selecting the Sunday drive mode and explored the world. But you can't play Simpsons Road Rage without patent infringement, and a Game Boy Advance. 2003 was the year I got a Game Boy Advance SP. Now, to be fair, I had a normal Game Boy Advance prior. I got that for my birthday the year prior alongside a copy of SpongeBob SquarePants Legend of the Lost Spatula because, you know, I'm me. But the very next year, I got the SP model, that gorgeously vibrant red model nestled in a new carrying case. This was my magnum opus, owning a Game Boy Advance SP. No longer needing batteries, the clamshell design made it more compact. The backlit screen made the screen possible to see for the first time ever. See, that is a child that has finally seen the light. Fast forwarding to 2011, that was the year I finally upgraded to an Xbox 360 with the Kinect bundle. There was this GameStop deal going on during Black Friday that I convinced my mom to scarf down on. As you can tell, this was at the point where I no longer had much whimsy with Christmas presents. It was more so pointing and saying that, hey, that still made for a great Christmas. Lots of games came as a part of this whole shtick. I got Kinect Adventures with the 360, plus invested in Dance Central, U-Star 2, and GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. And then on top of that, my mom bought me the gun stringer without my knowledge. How nice of her. This was a pretty fun holiday, just a lot of stuff I wanted, especially U-Star 2. You get to put yourself in movie clips. I adored this concept. The problem was nobody in my family cared to play along with it. Like, I tried to set it up at some gatherings and nobody wanted to play ball, which was so lame. You ever have that? Where you have a dumb little product you want to give a go at family gatherings and nobody wants to look like a jackass for your amusement? Yeah, it pisses me off too. You, Betty. Oh shoot, I got a Wii tower and a chair in 2009? I completely forgot about that.
How could I forget being a gamer?
Pretty much, the games like these, I will always have that personal connection to. And out of all the products to have a personal connection to, I'm happy it's these video games.
Video games can take the form of many gifts during the holidays, whether they're the games themselves, their in-holiday gift guides, or their gift cards. And they're always some of the best presents you could possibly get. But it's everything around those gifts that's truly special. Who gave it to you? Who played it with you on that holiday morning? The joy of opening up that present from somebody you care about, or seeing the face of somebody you care about give you the gift. All of those matter way more than the gifts themselves. It truly goes to show that Christmas is all about the experience of being around the people you love. So just don't be a spoiled bitch.
Wow, someone looks satisfied. Oh, and Scott's back too.
You guys, this is the best Christmas ever. But who even cares? There's no need to rank them, because as long as we're together, every year is the best Christmas ever.
Merry Christmas. A little birdie told me you'd like this.
Wow, how did you know?
I told you, birds!
Hey guys, it took some convincing, but after I showed them the true meaning of Christmas, they gave me my job at Target back. I was just demoted to CFO.
I assume that true meaning of Christmas had to do with some non-alcoholic, anti-satiriasis, wannabe Jesus.
Hey, I gave you your vegan present.
And I ate it already. It's over.
I guess we'll never truly see eye to eye on this.
Or anything.
Double anything!
Go not have sex.
Go eat a bush!
Hey, you guys have really been polishing off that spiked eggnog.
Spiked?
Egg?
Wanna geek out about puking?
Very.
What a Christmas. It's so great. I think even Jesus would agree. Sadly, he went home an hour ago. But even with this being such a great Christmas, I can't help but feel something's missing.
Hey.
Chet Shaft! I thought you were murdered by steel wool!
Well, nothing lasts forever.
How did you rise from the dead?
Felt like it was because of some kind of funny cult magic. It smelled like it too.
I think that was because of us during Halloween!
And to think I ever doubted that you would join a cult.
So, what brings you here?
I got a call from some therapist saying you were all in need of some extra feet for some gift exchange.
Really? Who got you a present?
Steel wool. He got me no hard feelings.
I went above and beyond.
But I got you. Got you this. It has a letter A in it. Reminded me of your last name.
You remembered. Oh boy! I can't wait to own something from somebody who actually cares. Something I'll make the most out of to show my gratification. Something new. Something I don't own 40 copies of. Something I'll get to next year.